Bruce and I became friends, and he wasn't what you call really quick. He had what you call uncanny timing, which means his timing for striking was darn near perfect, which means that if he can hit perfectly, and that is quick, you understand what I'm saying? But it's not something you can pick it up. He studied black fighters. If Bruce was alive now, he would let you know. And it was said by Bruce, if you want to learn how to fight, you should study black boxers and black fighters. The day that I met Bruce, he was sitting with Chuck Norris. And he asked Chuck, he said, who's that guy? Man, he's got extremely fast hands and feet, you know. And at the end of my match, I was standing there, and Bruce came out. He was known as the Green Hornet at the time. He was loved by everybody in the martial arts. So he came out and he touched me on the shoulder, and I turned around. And on the Green Hornet, wearing that black, he looked really thin. But in person, he had on a suit. He looked buff in that suit. You know, so when I turned around, he said, Steve. I said, yes, sir. He says, you have very fast hands and feet. I said, oh, thank you. And he talked for a little bit and was elaborating on my fighting skills, and he decided to walk away, and he stopped and he said, do you know me? And I said, no. He said, Bruce Lee. It was like a big light. Whoa, man, this is Bruce, you know. I ran up to
the Green Hornet.
Yeah, the Green Hornet. And I shook hands with him, you know. And he said, stay in touch, you know. I said, how? You know, many people don't know that I spoke with him quite often. He had films on me in fighting. And he had a film on me from white belt to brown belt to black belt. And I was watching this film one day, and I saw this kid fighting, and he was really raggedy. I mean, he was stumbling and throwing and had all kind of crazy form. And I said to myself, man, that dude is terrible. When it came up close, it was me. I said, whoa, you know, I was really embarrassed because I was talking about how bad he actually looked. But that was me as a white belt learning. Then he came, next film, it was me as a brown belt. And it was the same distance. I said, oh, you know, looking at, he was moving really nice, you know. And I said, I'm thinking now, and I'm waiting for it to come close. I said, yeah, that's me, you know. When it got there, and he had it also in black, and it showed the improvement in each stage. And there was a great improvement from the beginning up until making black belt. And he studied all black fighters, including Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson. He had films on all of them. All the great, that's why you saw him throw a lot of boxing type movements in his movie. Because he studied those boxers.
This is nothing but a target for a man who can stay on his toes and back off of him. Just keep boxing style. There's nowhere in the world for a man that don't have no footwork to catch me. Stay off range when you don't want to punch. You're even a welterweight. Keep your camera moving because I'm kind of fast. Keep your camera moving. Lightweight's not this fast.